Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. This is an update. Welcome to the new subscribers that I've gotten. As you can see, I am now up to 236, and I thank each and every one of you that have subscribed to my channel. Excuse me for a minute. If I sound like I'm off, is because right now I am. My allergies are kicking my ass. I have seasonal allergies, and according to the weather app on my phone, hang on, even though it's rainy here, there's no grass falling, no tree, or no weed, but there is a ton of tree pollen, and I'm allergic to everything outside that grows. So, everything that was once dead that is now back to life is kicking my ass. Along with everything else. Because inside the house, I'm allergic to typical house dust. So, yay me. But the other reason I sometimes sound so off is because for the last, I want to say, two 2 to 3 years now, I've been a type 2 diabetic, and we've been trying to get my A1C down and getting my glucose levels stabilized, and they're getting there. I mean, they're now under 200, but it takes time. And they put me on the medication, Jardius, because they could have put me on all the other new medications that are out there, but due to the fact that my mother had thyroid cancer, and it's the specific thyroid cancer that these other medications say to steer clear of, Jardius was my last hope. So I'm on that, and I go next week to the doctors, to the endocrinologist, to see her. Apparently, I've lost some weight. I don't feel like I've lost it, but I have, and that's fine. Of course, I pissed my brains out more than I've ever have in my entire life, even when I was pregnant, both times. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. But I wanted to give you guys a health update because some of you seem to care about my well-being. My mental health, well, we don't go there. I mean, the doctor, well, the nurse practitioner that I seen yesterday, which is gonna be my new doctor, so to speak. Well, she has bumped me from generalized anxiety levels to complex PTSD. Know what does that mean for me? It means everything I was ever previously diagnosed with has been lumped into the complex PTSD. My dissociative identity disorder, my borderline personality disorder, my borderline adjustment disorder, my bipolar, my manic depression. It's all been lumped into the complex PTSD stemming back from when I was a child, from being sexually molested by a neighbor to watching the system secretly dismantle my family. And, well, it's not really secretly because everybody else on the outside didn't know, but I watched it. I watched them go after my father instead of the guy that did assault me. It was the basis of their divorce, his infidelity, his cheating. Because I seriously believe, had they never went after him, my parents would have still been together. I would have had a happy home. Instead, I got the broken home. And being an only child, it tore me apart to watch it. Maybe I wouldn't have ended up with my mom being the way she was, but I'll never know because my parents are divorced. They were married a year before I was born because that was something that was instilled into my father was you don't have children out of wedlock. So he met my mom, fell in love with her, and December of 1977, I came. But my father is a honorable discharge from the United States military. He made it 89 days through boot camp before they deemed him mentally incompetent to be there. So I know where my mental health problems come from. It comes from him because fathers pass on to their daughters. But it is what it is. My life is what it's been. And it's made me not afraid to share my story because I want people to know that there are others out there that have a story to tell, whether they so choose to tell it or not. I will be uh no, even though the government has already deemed me 48 years old, I won't be 48 until December. And I have two daughters. One is 30. She just turned 30 on the 13th. And my other one will be 29 on October 26th. I have nothing to do with my children. They want nothing to do with me due to me losing them to this county system. Same system I went through. They ended up in. So I will put this out there. When your mother sits there and says, I hope when you have children and they are just as bad as you and they're just like you, that mother's wish actually tends to come true. At least mine did. And not only were my girls starting to be like me, and they ended up having almost the same life, except I got stuck in a group home for 2.5 years because I was old enough to say no to foster families. They weren't. They got stuck in foster families until they were adopted. But that's neither here nor there because now I'm in my 40s. I have a YouTube channel. I used to blog about my games and now I record them. Whether people watch them or not, that's something. Well, they will if they're watching the Jurassic World. Some odd reason you people love to watch that one because that is like my most viewed. Uh, Here, let's go to the studio for a minute. And there's nothing in there really that. Yeah, and back in March I had 200 subs, so and now I'm up to 236. So I'm actually doing fairly well. Yeah, it seems to be Jurassic Revolution. Evolution, Jurassic World Evolution. That's like my top one. That's the one people. Well, of course, WoW's up there from time to time. But yeah, people seem to like the Jurassic World. And why, I don't know, because, well, I don't have trends. Yeah, Jurassic World Evolution 2 seems to be. Somebody sure loads my content on the TV. Hang on for a minute, folks. I am so sorry about that, folks. My mother insists on the phone with the answering machine be right next to my damn desk, and I get stuck with it. But yeah, as you can see, I I don't know what else to do. I don't edit my videos. The only thing I do is I compress them down with a program called Handbrake, and it's so I can upload them because half the time when I'm done recording, they're like anywhere between 5 to almost 20 gigs, which they're all stored on an external hard drive, and then I compress them down, put them in a special folder that I call my converted folder, and you guys end up getting to see them when I upload them over to YouTube. Yeah, like I have a couple over here now, which this is the one I'm recording today. This is the one I recorded yesterday. It's 11.1 gigs. And all I was doing was I was playtesting the house in The Sims to make sure that when after I uploaded it to the gallery, everything was workable for the toddlers, the pets, the adults. And it was when I stopped last night. But yeah, sometimes my videos will be shorter than others because with my blood levels not being regulated, I sound off. Not blood levels, but the sugar level in my blood isn't regulated. I sound off. So some videos I will be just like near lethargic and don't want to record anymore because I hit that phase called brain fog. And then there's the fact that my mother tries to make our relationship better than what it is. And it's kind of hard when you don't trust that parent. I haven't trusted her in years. And that's because, well, her second husband, the man that I would never consider my stepfather, even though everybody else around me did, he always made it a point to know that I was not welcomed around him. He wanted no parts of me ever. And despite me trying to tell my mother this, I had to live with the shame that I had a parent choose their significant other over me. Well, my dad wanted me, but when he was 32, he had a nervous breakdown. Hold on for a minute, folks. Yeah, he had a nervous breakdown, so he could never take me back. Because he too, he wanted me. It's ironic because if you spec and you look at the demographics of this, typically the women want their children and not the men. But it wasn't so in my case. My case was my father wanted me, my mother didn't. My mother wanted to go out and party. Is that the result of having two younger parents? Yeah, it is. My dad was 21, soon to be 22, and my mom had just turned 20 when I was born. So, and after me, the doctors had told her, don't try to have another child because you'll die. And instead of having a sibling, well, I did have siblings. They were just ranged with four legs and furry and barked at me. I think that's why I love dogs more than humans because, let's face it, animals are the equivalent of being perfect. They don't flaw you, they don't look down on you. All they want is your love and your attention. And I mean, since his passing, she's tried to right the wrongs. And I have forgiven her, but I haven't forgotten what she's done. She always chose him over me. And I can't forgive it. I can't. Well, I have forgiven it for the sake of my own sanity, but I can't forget it. I can't forget being put second when I should have been a priority. And then there was his kids. His kids didn't even want me. And they still, to this day, do not accept me. And she has found ways to hurt me and doesn't apologize for it. Because she has even come down to the point of telling me that I should have never been born. I should have never had children. You do not do that to your child, whether they're a child or an adult. You don't do that. And you especially do not tear them down when you know they have mental health problems. You do not tear people down. But in order, because she is a narcissistic idiot, to make herself feel better, she tears me down. And hubby, he has went off on her quite a few times about that too. He tries to protect me from her, but he also sees why I left our relationship fractured. I can't fix this. I don't want to fix this. I've had people come up and tell me, well, you should because she's your mother. Doesn't matter if she's my mother or not. She has always looked down on me. And at 17, I got emancipated. So for the last 30 years, I have been an adult. I have made decisions that they don't like. And you know what? I don't care. It's my life. I chose to have my daughters. I chose the man I wanted to be with. Not once, but twice. Because the one in between, the one that did the most damage, I didn't want to be with him. I did not want to be with somebody that just had a bad aura. But everybody, he snowballed everybody in my family, and everybody in my family fucking loved him. And I got shafted because the time I was all about trying to make everybody in my family happy, even if it made me miserable. After spending 5 years with him, and he left, it's when it dawned on the attitude, fuck him. It's my life. I'm gonna go find my heart. And my heart was with the guy I'm with now. It's always been him. And when people ask me why, because they get hung up on our age difference or our color difference. Okay? He is 10 years older than me. He's also black. But I don't see him in either of those categories. He has the mentality of a 9-year-old, if that. Sometimes he has the mentality of a 2-year-old. But he's out there every day, busting his ass, making $1. He works for a company called Thumber Rock East. They make pool base, they make concrete, they make perlite, stuff you use for your gardens, your stuff you use on your farm. They make the bases of it all. And he's out there working. Does he get on my nerves? Yeah, he gets on my nerves. And I get on his. But at the end of the day, we love each other deeply. Ours was a love story that was meant to have another chapter. So that's what we did. We had another chapter. This time without children. Because I can't have any more. He don't want no more. Thank God. And he's quite content being just me, him, and Raven. Which that is our child. A 4-legged puppy. But I'm going to end the video here. This was an update, a thank you, and just overall general chatting. There's Shadows from Shadows Abstract Gaming. I will check you guys out in the next video. Take care.